see what my I've got some lyrics somewhere. Let's see if they work. There's a constant yearning for something that I cannot ever be. Got a stranglehold on me. Why is the deliberation quite slow and tropical and seductive? Please take the story away from me. Before I have to cut down the head, running away instead, trying to solve the maze. Why is there so much suffering? I can't possibly write about it all. Slowly descending, dull artist pretentiousness encapsulated in a single stroke. The pen you're trying to choke. Hello. Hi, we got some viewers now. Hello, Lydia. Hello, Travis. Hello, Luke Shaw. Hello, Travis. Hello, Lydia Ethel. I'm seeing you today. I'll probably leave about, I don't know, at a time that I normally leave. And then before that, I'm going to go do some videos. I've got 6 videos on the laptop. I don't know if you can see it, but I've got 6 videos on that. All right. About 6, yeah. Although 2 of them I might not put out because 2 of them are kind of shite. So I wanted to do one about Reddit and why I don't like Reddit, but it kind of just turned into an incoherent rant. And the other one was meant to be about oversharing on the internet, because I mean, I've done like fucking 350 videos, right, and live streams and stuff, and I've talked about a lot of different facets of myself. So it's kind of about that, like, what's the limit, you know? Like, I did that video about death and stuff, and I talked about all sorts of miserable stuff in that. So that was kind of the idea of it, but it just turned into another incoherent rant. I think it's because I tried to do too many, and I didn't take water with me. If I didn't take water with me, that meant that I was dehydrated for those 2 videos. I mean, I'll maybe put them out on members only, and if it turns out that people like them, then maybe I'll upload them. But yeah. So at the moment, I've been I've nearly finished this Sheffield psychedelic documentary, which is 2 hours 35 minutes and 14 seconds long. I've just finished, at the end, there's like one of those bullshit like emotional montages. There's one of them. I think there's 10 of there's 2 of them. Because I just thought, it needs to represent, the satisfaction of having finished the thing. So thank you very much, Luke Shaw. That means a lot. I like doing these sort of things just to get my own sort of ideas figured out in my brain, because you don't figure something out until you talk about it. Oh, that'd be a good idea for a video, actually. What Miss Jamando said, I could do a manifesto, and I would just do a video that's just like the whole manifesto, and I would just read it off a list. I could, say if I got like a big scroll, right, and I just started off like, hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of the United Kingdom, and today, here's my manifesto, right? On the first border agenda is the economy. We're gonna just sort that out. On the second one, I'm gonna ban the bookies, and then what else are we gonna do? Get rid of the tax on pubs, because there's too much tax on pubs, which means the price of like drinks is too much. Feet Wallace says, Johnny, I live in London, fellow creator and video editor. I'd love to grab a drink sometime. Yeah, I'd be down for that. Well, I'm going to Edinburgh on Tuesday, so I'll have to be once I get back. So it'll be sometime in August. If you send me an email though, I'll get back to you, because I'm trying to like expand and like talk to more people and stuff like that, and get more connections in, not necessarily in the industry, but with other creators. Like a guy called Glink talked to me. And Glink was a nice guy. I don't know if any of you know Glink. He's a YouTuber. He did, what's he done? I think his most famous stuff is from ages ago. Like, he used to do like iDubbbz Content Cop, Where Are They Now, which I watched way back in the day, when I was way back in the day of 2018. But like when I was like into that kind of bullshit, and like when he was into, like, because we both grown as people. Hey, beneath the headphones, good luck with your bowling. Hope you strike. Hope you knock out your opponent. I don't mean that in a competitive sense. I mean with the bowling ball. Yeah. I'm going to just turn this on to all messages. For some reason, it does it by top, which hides certain messages for some reason. Yeah, I like the idea of the manifesto thing. I'm trying to think what else I could have. The pub thing would be important to me. I mean, my manifesto probably, we just do like the whole like gay rights thing and all that. We'd just like be like, yep, that's sorted, move on. we wouldn't dwell on it, right? Because there's so much shit that doesn't get talked about, like how pubs don't, get a look in, right? That I want to just make sure that, like, the LGBTQ and all that, they're sorted, right? They get what they want, and then bam, onto the pubs, because the pubs are for me, they're the real issue, right? Because they're they're like the primary third space in the United Kingdom, and they're falling apart. We lose something like 12 pubs a week. It's ridiculous. And I just don't like that. I like this idea, actually. I feel like this could be I feel like this could be a multi-part video. I could do, what are some different parts of I'll tell you what, tell me bits of like, what would you want to see in a prime minister? What would you want him to be tackling? I don't mean like specific policies, but like, areas. What areas should be focused on? I could do like, I don't know, 6 different videos on this. Say economy, pubs would be one, and just like, the high street and shit like that. Because that would be a big focus for me, is the high street, and making sure that, there's more community centres and things like that. The economy, making sure that people have like money to spend, and that kind of thing, and not just for the bare essentials. Housing. What's exciting? Actually, I'll tell you what. There's 2 series I did, because I remember I had that one about. I never bothered doing it, but I made a post about it, which was I like the idea of looking at different politicians and imagining myself in their sort of world, like. Say Margaret Thatcher, I put myself in Margaret Thatcher's body and I see what I do in her situation, that kind of thing. Because I think that could be kind of interesting, because I feel like a lot of this, politician stuff, it's probably a lot more boring and like down to earth than it seems. There was probably times where she was sat in not Weatherspoons, but like a Costa Coffee type thing, sitting with the secretary of fucking whatever. That secretary's a more fucking American thing. This series idea is shite. I'll do the manifesto one instead. Sometimes you come up with an idea and you think it's really good, and you think that there's going to be loads to do. But then you kind of get around to it and there's like nothing. So many videos I start off and I think there's going to be like a lot to do. I think I'm going to have a lot to say. And then I get into it, and like 2 minutes in, I realize I've said everything that there is to say in the video. And I can either just repeat myself for a bit or just like pack it in. And usually I pack it in. So I'll show you. So Benjo got a load of this stuff, right? I don't know if you can see it properly.
Feels really, really fucking good.
So we did this sort of thing. This is spoilers, I suppose. Maybe you can even see it. Yeah, you can. I'm gonna pull it out a bit. That shit fucking gave me a concussion doing that shaking shit. Would you believe that this is a royalty-free song? Like, this is royalty-free stock music. But to me, it sounds fucking perfect. So you got to watch 2.5 hours to get to that bit, because it's a long documentary that really gets into everything, and there's a potential that I'm going to add another part, but I don't know if I can be asked. My main thing is I want to know if it's coherent, because I know the story better than anyone because it's my story, right? But I need to know how. Well, I've got a few titles for it. The film is called A Sheffield Psychedelic, so I was thinking like A Sheffield Psychedelic, Making a Delusion, or something like that. I had a list somewhere. Let's see if I've got my list of potential titles. But it's all about how a lot of filmmakers, they do these sort of making of documentaries, and then they turn around at the end and say, oh, even though, I crawled through the mud for 800 years and, I lost 3 legs, I still would have done this. I still would have done the same thing. And it's like, I want to make the point that I wouldn't have made this film, and that I don't actually like this film anymore. That's kind of the point that I'm making. Oh, where the fuck is it? There's How to Realize a Delusion, The Making of a Delusion. Oh, here we are. A Sheffield Psychedelic, The Making of a Delusion. That's 1. The Black Sheep, The Making of a Sheffield Psychedelic. That's 2. 3 is Forest for the Trees, Making a Sheffield Psychedelic. And then there's just some like more YouTubey ones, like What Happens When You Outgrow Your Passion Project. This film was a failure, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of a Sheffield Psychedelic. I quite like Forest for the Trees. That one's decent. I like that one. I like that one, and I like The Making of a Delusion. Those 2 are probably my favourite ones. I just realised I've got a title card, and I've put a title in it. I don't even remember what the title is. Oh, it was just the same thing. But it's mad just how much went into making this documentary. I've spent about 3 months doing it, although I took 1 month off, so I spent 2 months doing it. And it's taking all the footage that I've recorded like over the past sort of 3 years and just compiling it and telling like a linear story, showing, and then kind of combining it with little Johnny Mozza type videos that segregate everything and kind of bridge the gaps, is kind of what it is. So if I just sort of skip through it, this fucking setup here, me in front of this head, is a lot of this. So you see it comes up a fair few times. There it was again. And then there's loads of phone footage. There's these videos that I recorded while I was making the film. There's this stuff that I recorded in a park. Loads of stuff. And it just kind of takes everything in a... I don't know exactly how to describe it. But if you're interested in watching this rough cut, send me an email at Official Morrison Films. Go on any of the YouTube videos and look in the description. The email's there. And just send me an email saying you want to watch a rough cut of it. I say it's a rough cut. I mean, the audio is polished. The video is like more or less complete. Like in terms of technicalities, I think it's done. It's just a case of making it make more sense. I need other people to come in and just sort of go like, yeah, you've got this long section on this that no one actually gives a shit about, or you've completely skipped over this bit here, like that kind of thing. Because I don't know what matters and what doesn't, because I can't see the forest for the trees on it.
I'm going to be doing all of this.
So it was a fun project. It's the longest thing that I've made that's like, full, like a proper thing. It's 2.5 hours, and I'm pretty happy with it. I'm sitting here kind of like, it's finally done, I'm impressed that it is finally done. And then the film itself, literally, I just need to. Benja was editing it and he gave it back to me. I just need to turn the proxy files into normal files and export it. And that's literally it. And just give it like once over just to make sure that there's no little errors, That's literally all that I need to do on that. And then there's like other behind the scenes bits. Like I've got this, where is it? Hang on. It's somewhere in here. DVD, Blu-ray. I've put loads of stuff in the behind the scenes. I put loads of stuff on the DVD, right? So you've got this here, which is like an hour and a half long. Sorry, no, this is just a half-hour long thing.
My name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Mozza.
So just an exclusive Johnny Mozza. I think there's like 4 exclusive Johnny Mozza videos on here. There's this one, which
everybody.
Tells like it's a long one. If you can see that, 36 minutes.
Let's talk a little bit about the lowest point in my filmmaking career.
And then I've got this, which is like a podcasty type thing that I recorded with the DP and one of the main actors.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, because you've got to do a bit of a dramatic.
But I need to sort the audio out on this because it sounds a bit shite.
No, we didn't know what the coverage we needed. We would have been.
You keeping this one thing in?
Luke Shaw says, I've always wanted to make a film about the thing. I've always wanted to make a film following the daily hustle of functional addicts. I know it's been done, but the raw reality of it really intrigues me. Yeah, I'd like to do the same sort of thing because, yeah, I mean, I've sort of been there. I mean, a lot of us have been there, where we've been addicted to stuff and, we've just sort of had to keep trucking on. I think it would be interesting. And, it's not like, because fucking Requiem for a Dream has come out, that means no one else can touch the subject anymore. Like, what? Das Boot came out, so no one else can make a film on submarines. It's it doesn't matter if someone else has done the same idea. What matters is how your spin is on it. Because I imagine you live maybe somewhere where other films that are about similar topics haven't been done, like Trainspotting and Requiem for a Dream, similar kind of films, but I think one's American and one's, actually, no. Is Requiem for a Dream an American film? Or am I just mad? I swear it's an American film. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. But, like, Requiem for a Dream didn't need to exist because Trainspotting had come before it, and then Trainspotting probably didn't need to exist because something else came out before that. Joe Grimsdale says, "Happy Friday, fella. I've been wondering, why do you add black bars to your side of your videos instead of exporting it for free?" I'll tell you why. Because YouTube does this stupid thing where it morphs the fucking page to whatever the aspect ratio is. And I hate it. So here is one of my videos, right? Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, here's one of my videos, right?
Everybody. I
hope you can see the whole thing, right? You see it's got the black bars, right? Now let's find a video that's in 4:3. Let's say Men I Trust. I'm sure that Lauren is in 4:3. Might be wrong. Oh, fuck's sake. Have they undone it? I hope they have. That'd be cool. What's a video that's in 4:3? Aha, Take on Me. Let's try that. That's got to be in 4:3, right? There you go. I don't like that, how it does that shit, when I want my video to look like that. I want the black bars on the side. I don't want that. I don't want it to just turn the page into something new. Does that make sense? Because it just, to me, it just looks fucking shite. And I don't mind black bars, really. They say that, like, in the editing world, you shouldn't be putting black bars and stuff. You should just export in a certain thing. And for the life of me, I still don't know why. I don't see what the big deal is. I don't really understand what it would add for me to export this in 4:3, because the whole it's got black bars on it. That's kind of the point of it. No one has a 4:3 television, really. Anyone who's watching this on a 4:3 television, like that's got to be like 0.01% of the population, right? And I don't know. That's why I do it anyway. And also, it's also kind of easier because, say, if I want to change things up, because sometimes a video will use a clip and the clip won't be in 4:3. So in that case, I'm not going to make everything forced into the 4:3 thing. Like, for instance, if I was going to do something proper, you know, like a proper big project that's in 4:3, I would export it in 4:3. I wouldn't do the black bars. But for videos like this that are going on YouTube, I just don't want YouTube to mess it up and mess around with the entire thing, because to me it just looks kind of shite. Backlog says, "Hi Johnny, I've seen you on the King Giz concert a few months ago in Lithuania. Didn't want you to feel uncomfortable." No, I'll tell you what, that was one of the best sort of times of my life. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, someone recognized me in the pit. I went in the mosh pit, and I just sort of, that's the first time I've ever been in a mosh pit. I'm not like a ravey type guy, but someone was like, "I love Johnny Mozza," and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy." And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, there wouldn't have been anything wrong. I don't mind people coming up to me and sort of saying, "Oh, I love your videos" and stuff like that. Were you the guy that we helped lift up? I think we helped lift up your girlfriend or something like that. Because I think someone came up to me and they were like, we're going to take her up, right? And then I was like, okay. And then she was like, and then they were like, now, and I kind of hauled them like up, and it was the first time I've ever helped someone crowd surf. I think it was like that. Joe Grimsdale says, "Oh, gotcha. I do think it looks worse on desktop, but 4:3 works well when people view it vertically on the phone." To me, it's the other way around. I just don't like how it looks, this white bar thing. I just think it looks so much better with the black bars on the side. I want to see the black bars, because otherwise it's just a squarey sort of video. But then I grew up watching like old things on newer tellies, you know. I never had a 4:3 TV really. Like, the first TV I had was like this big boxy Sony sort of thing. That's like, how do I describe it? It was like the size of a fucking like small wardrobe or chest of drawers. It was like the size of a chest of drawers, and it was 4:3, and it had a VHS player underneath, and all the VHS tapes were in 4:3. So I'm used to seeing the black bars on the side. Maybe that's a generational thing, but personally, I just think it looks better in this sort of way. I mean, I'm sure at some point I'm going to end up going back to all of these videos, and like they'll end up being put out in other contexts. Like, say when YouTube goes under or whatever, and there's a new website, maybe it will do differently, you know. Yeah, I know. I did not expect to be lifted up. I mean, I thought I was too tall to be like crowd surfed. And to be honest, the entire thing's a bit of a daze. You can see me in the live stream that the band did. I just look confused. You can see me for a second kind of coming down like that over the barrier, and then it cuts to them playing guitars for a second, and then it just kind of goes to me looking confused, and then it cuts away again, because I didn't know what way I was meant to go. I didn't know if I was meant to turn left or turn right. My head was a bit mental. Right? I was sober, but I was a bit all over the place. Luke Shaw says we should work on a short film together. I'm going to be honest. I'm not vastly bothered about doing. I'll tell you what, low budget horror, I wouldn't mind, as long as it's sort of scrappy in that kind of way and really like experimental. I'm a bit done with movie making, to be honest, in that kind of way. I mean, I wouldn't mind something like that we can do in like a day or so that involves us just running around the woods at night or something like that with a flashlight. But I don't really want to have to put any more effort into making films because I'm more, or say if it was for a music video, like a scary music video, I'd be up for something like that because I want to do music videos and make that my future. I'm a bit done with films, particularly short films, because there's no point to them. No one's interested in a short film. Have you ever watched a short film and been interested in it? I haven't. They only get made so that you can get put onto a film festival, and film festivals are just this giant circle jerk for the bourgeoisie of the film industry. I have no desire to be accepted by the film festival industry, just so that I have the opportunity to talk to some bigwig producer who will entertain me for 2 minutes before going off to do whatever the fuck he does. I'm not. I don't want one to go like, Johnny, I really liked your movie. And then I go, oh, yeah. And then I've got to sit there and advertise myself to him and blah, blah, blah. I've done it. I went to film festivals and everyone was a fucking arsehole. The filmmakers themselves are really nice people for the most part, although there's some knobheads there. But, like, I volunteered at a film festival, right? And then when I was at the film festival, I found out I was being sponsored by a real estate fucking agency, right? If they can afford, like, these people profit off the fucking housing market, right, to the degree that they do, and they couldn't afford to pay me, ridiculous. So I have no time for film festivals or films really at this point. I'm just done with them. I'm going to release this film. I'm going to release Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and then after that, I'm not doing any more films. Is kind of my thinking. From then on, videography and stuff will be focus more on music videos and little experimental shit like that, rather than anything that involves having to get actors on Mandy or any weird shit like that. I can't be asked for it anymore, to be honest. I like music. Music's so much more fulfilling and entertaining to me, and I just love making it. Hence why I like this. Ooh, shouldn't leave my guitar in the fucking sun. So that sounded fucking awful, but you get my point. About the Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. I don't know when it'll be ready. I want to release Sheffield Psychedelic first, which I plan on releasing at the end of August, possibly the end of September. Depends on how fast things happen. And then I'm going to focus on Johnny Moz and go full throttle on Johnny Moz. So I want it done by the end of the year, because I feel like it's been way too long. But I have to be honest, my passion for Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence has kind of gone downhill, and I feel like Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence feels like it's more reflective of the videos that I do rather than the film. I just feel like it means more doing these videos, and people enjoy these videos more, and like they get more out of it compared to Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, the movie, which I just don't think people are going to be particularly interested in. So it's not been a priority for the past few months, and I've just been putting it back and putting it back and putting it back. But I will get it done, because I'm that kind of mindset where if I start something, I have to finish it. There's no like alternative. I can't put it down. I can't just delete all the footage. It just physically isn't possible. So it will come out, and hopefully, probably by the end of this year. Because I'll tell you what, I'm a bit sick of it being on the back of my mind. I want it out. And it's not going to be a mini-series anymore. It's just going to be however long it is. It might not even be a feature film. I know this isn't like advertised. I know this isn't particularly great marketing. I can't be asked making this film anymore. I'm just going to get it out and get it over and done with. But that's the truth of it. That is the God's honest truth of it. I see Doom Productions, right? They're a YouTube channel that do like a lot of folk filmmaking. And they're able to pump out so many feature films, right? And like they made so many, and a lot of them are quite good. And I just kind of think they're doing so much for like 400, 500 views. How much did Little Black Submarines get? Where is it? I can't even fucking tell. Oh, where's that bastarding fucking movie? Where is it? Okay, fine, not Little Black Submarines then. What's their most popular film? Do any of you know Doom Productions? They're quite a small YouTube channel. They're these guys. I don't know if you know them. But they did This Boy's Hunt for the Sasquatch. That's their most popular thing. 16K views, right? And then after that, it's just a bunch of fucking technical advertising bullshit, like, oh, this, woman in film that everyone should know, who I've never heard of. And then, analysis of fucking Miyazaki's fucking movie. And then something about aspect ratios. And then another feature film, right, which they probably spent ages and ages and ages working on for 6K views. And then another technical thing, which is just a podcast that they pumped out probably in like 2 hours, gets the same amount of views. And another feature film that they spent ages and ages and ages and ages and ages working on, they got 3.6 views. Right? To me, it's just not worth it. And I know that this isn't the way to be, is to do it for views. I'm not necessarily doing it for the views. Like I don't even need to finish Sheffield Psychedelic. No one gives a shit about Sheffield Psychedelic other than me, right? But I have to get it out. That's the key. I have to get it done, right? To Joe, best way of contacting me, say if you go on any of the YouTube videos, there'll be an email in the description. There's 2 emails, one for businessy stuff and one for fun stuff. Use either of them. No one seems to actually bother using the fun one for fun and the serious one for serious stuff, so just use either. But yeah, that's my rant about why I can't be asked with film. I'm not really a big film buff. I don't really care about films, and I feel like, say if a load of people gave me a load of money to make a film, I would make a film, because I don't want to expend any money or energy doing something that I know isn't going to make it back. I'm not 20 years old anymore. I need the things, and I don't mind doing these videos because they don't take a long time to make, right? But I'm trying to save up for a fucking deposit on a mortgage, right? So I'm in my sellout phase, I suppose you could call it, right? Where I'm trying to make £20,000, right? At the moment, I've got about £4,000, right? So I'm 20% of the way there to getting the mortgage, right? And then I need to get a proper job. So I need to, because I work in a pub at the moment, I need to pack that in and start working in like social media marketing or something like that. I know this is all horrible to hear, right? But it's the reality that we live in, right? I need to make this money. I need to provide for the people that I care about. I need to get a house, That's what has to happen. And I'm going to keep making content along the way. I'm planning on making more videos, right? And maybe increase the frequency of videos and seeing if that is what the algorithm liked. I don't know. I hope that didn't make it sound like I'm just doing this for the money, because that's not why I do it. The money's why I keep keeping it up and do it as frequently as I do it, but I would still be doing it even if there wasn't money. I mean, I make videos, I do these things that I call personal vlogs, right? That none of you will ever see. I mean, I'm going to show you a couple clips, right? But you're never going to see any of this. So you see that there's like 51 of them, right? And then there's these reaction ones, which aren't really interesting, right? But this is all stuff that I've edited for my own personal sake. So I don't just do this stuff for the money or whatever, anything like that. I mean, in fact, this one here, no, not that one, this one. I think I can show you this one. Because, I can show you this one. This is basically, you see this one here, it's called The Genesis of Johnny Mozza. This is basically how I got the idea to do the videos that I do.
Just doing this. Phone, I think, instead. Plugging away at things.
You see that's out of focus.
Trying to get the stone that you're constantly chipping away at down to a fine diamond.
So I got the idea to do the videos doing this kind of shit. I'm trying to make my way down. I've not heard about Jackson C. Frank. I don't know who that is. Lesh Georgiev asks, by the way, did you hear about Jackson C. Frank? Let's look him up. Who's that? Jackson C. Frank. I've not heard of him. Pandemonium asks, how come you got into filmmaking? I don't know. Just kind of started. It was sort of well, you do it I went to film school, but the main reason I went to film school was just for something to do. I didn't really go because I had a big passion for filmmaking. I wasn't one of the, like, you know, watched all the Tarantino movies all the time and like was obsessed with Martin Scorsese or anything like that. I never really cared about them that much. I never really cared about film particularly much. I was more interested in just making weird shit and just like, I don't know, comedy. Like I liked that kind of thing. I liked just goofing around for camera, and as time went on, I started to want to make more stuff of some kind of meaning to it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I never really was super obsessed with film. Like my favorite films are shit like Jurassic Park, and I really liked Jaws too. It was terrible, but I enjoyed it. I like watching a really bad film with someone that I care about and I like being with, and someone whose company I enjoy. I like watching garbage with fun people rather than just watching like cinematic masterpieces. So if someone gave me like, I don't know, $2 million, I wouldn't make a really good film. I'd probably make a load of shite. But you know, I would try to purposefully make something as like big as possible that came out looking terrible, so that people could have a laugh at it. Just having a look at some of the questions. Let's see. Okay. I'm glad you know what I'm talking about, Parksy boy. Just like it's like why the rum went so bad. Like that's so. I feel like it doesn't necessarily need to be bad. It just needs to be not like dramatic and serious and over the top. Like I wouldn't take that 2 million and try and make some like super psychological thriller anymore. I would probably make some kind of road movie. What do you think of busking? I don't know. It's all right. I like the ones that I was in quite an emotional state a few years ago. I was sort of in the middle of breaking up with someone, and we went to like this place to sort of finalize the breakup, and I got there a bit early, and you know, in that moment, I'm kind of miserable, right? And there was this guy that was just doing these David Gilmour-esque solos to a backing track in the middle of the Fulham Broadway. And you know, that in that moment really impacted me. I just sat there for ages smoking a cigarette listening to it, and I just didn't want that moment to end. So in situations like that, I really like it. But then, you know, there's for every one of them, there's, you know, someone that's just playing Wonderwall all the time, which I don't even understand why people like it. It's not even that good a song. I feel like, say if I got 2 million to make a film, right? What would I make? I would either make, I'll tell you what, I'd probably try and make something like Crank. Something just like really, really mental, you know? Something like insane, like that's all over the place. Forest for the Trees, yeah? That's going to be the title. I'm going to change that now. Where the fuck is it? That's just the making of. Busking as a service, you can't go out there and be bad. You have to be prepared. Yeah, and also I think you need to be unique. You know, it can't just be the same motherfucker with an acoustic guitar. I feel like the ones that are weird attract more attention, like someone with an accordion, or a flute, or some weird instrument like a hurdy-gurdy or something like that. That's more likely to be successful than just another knob with a fucking guitar. In my personal opinion. That's the idea anyway. I think I'm going to close this stream out because I feel like it's going to end up going on forever. So I'm going to close this out here. If anyone has any like final sort of questions or whatever, we'll sort of answer them and then we'll head out. So if anyone has any sort of fun ideas. Two Mil, I would remake Wrong Turn and set it in the Lake District. Oh, it's a midnight, fucking hell. Yeah, I do enjoy driving. I'm finally getting good at the motorways and stuff. That was probably the hardest bit. And roundabouts, I've still got some issues with roundabouts, but I'm fixing them. But those are the two final things. I think outside of that, I'm fully done for driving, and I'm ready to take the test. Problem is that the waiting list means that I'm probably not going to be able to take my practical test until fucking February. So I don't know what's going on there. What the fuck is up with the fucking waiting list? Why is the waiting list for driving tests so long in the UK? Why do I have to wait so fucking long? Backlog from the pandemic. Jesus, get more fucking instructors. Hire some fucking people. Seriously, how is it so hard to just hire some motherfuckers to just do this? Pay them some money and they'll do it. Like, I asked my driving instructor when he took his test, how long did it take? How long was the waiting list? And he said 4 weeks. That seems reasonable, right? I'm having to wait like 8 months. It's ridiculous. And the thing is, right? Say I get to the test, right? Well, I'm going to have to keep up driving it somehow, right? I'm going to keep paying for fucking lessons? Lessons are expensive. I'm just going to keep up lessons just so I'm familiar, like, keeping it up for the next 8 months. I already know how to fucking drive. Why can't I just take the test, like, at the end of August? And why do we have to do theory tests now? I'm not a theory person. I failed the theory test twice because I'm not a theory person. If someone asks me some theory question, fucking no idea, right? It means theory means literally fuck all to me. What matters to me is putting myself in the situation and doing it, right? Like, for instance, apparently with Spanish and French lessons in the UK for the GCSE, they took out speaking and listening as part of what you're graded on. That's the most important fucking bit. I'm not learning to write Spanish. I'm learning to speak it. That's the key bit there. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why they're doing it like this. Why is it that we can't just have, something where... I just don't understand why I've got to take a theory test. When did UK theory test start? 1996. Right, it's modern bullshit. Get rid of it. That's modern. This is 30 years old, but get rid of it. We don't need it. Gary Garner, hey Moz, I see you took me up on my Q&A suggestion. Yeah, and that's kind of what inspired me to do it. I saw your comment. So I've basically done it now. Just been ranting about fucking the theory test. To me, I don't see what it adds to be able to say, like, this, the little theory things. It just means nothing to me. It really means nothing to me. Like, I don't get it. I mean, my dad didn't have to do a fucking theory test. He can drive. My granddad didn't have to do a theory test. He knows how to drive, right? They're better drivers than me, and I've got to do a theory test. Last topic I have, do you think punk rock can be revitalized with a new philosophy? Punk philosophy is so self-destructive. I feel like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing, I'm glad that that's kind of dying down. I feel like it's good to have like a I don't give a fuck attitude, but when you're kind of not, when you're kind of a, how would I describe it? A hedonistic person at heart, it kind of gets in the way of the message you're trying to get across. But at the moment, there's a lot of like post-punk revival stuff in the UK, like fucking Yard Act and shit like that, which I fucking hate all these bands that all think that they have something so important to say and they really want to get a message across. And it's just like, fuck off with the message that you really want to get across, you know? I'm the opposite, Josh. Ref. I don't have any time for post punk. I mean, what's some of the best post punk bands? I'm trying to think of some. The Cure, Joy Division, but this is all goth, really. I think of that stuff as goth rather than as post punk. I know there's overlap. New Order, they kind of suck. Echo and the Bunnymen. Again, this to me, a lot of this isn't post-punk. It's just goth. I guess so. I guess I do like post-punk, but I just don't call it post-punk. Apparently, U2's fucking post-punk. Huh. The Fool. I don't know as The Fool stopped. Huh. Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I'm writing a song. I'm writing a punk song for the new 65E3 EP, the new 65E3 EP, the one that's going to be there. I mean, but then, would you say that Television's Marquee Moon is post-punk? Because to me, that is pure punk, but it uses more instrumentation and interesting things, but it still has the punk sort of ideal to it. But a lot of the punk sort of thing, I feel like got conflated with let's wear a load of stupid fucking black fucking leather and stuff like that, rather than actually being something worthwhile, getting a message across. I agree with you, Gary. Like, to me, Wet Leg and you know, Yard Act and stuff, I just feel like they so want to get this idea out that's so important. Oh, we've got commentary on society. Wet Leg's new fucking album, Moisturizer, I look at the album cover and it's just like, we're making a statement on how women need to have this pressure to look good at all times. So we're going to make an album cover where they don't look good, they look ugly. No one's done this before. It's the same message delivered in the same fucking way with no change to it. And it's just, and the worst thing is, I don't mind that inherently, but it's clear that to me that they seem to think that they're doing something interesting when they're not, right? Just talking in a monotone fucking voice over the same fucking... I have a lot to say and I need to say it now. I think I'm so important, but I am so correct. I write post-punk like this. This is a revival of a really shit genre. Actually, that didn't really make sense. I just want to talk. I don't really want to say anything. I like a message just as much as anybody, but it just gets stupid when all you do is say the same old shit again and again and again. Oh, England's going downhill. Oh, there's a load of problems with council estates. I live on a council estate and I am poor and I have a lot of anger. I'm going to say it in a very monotone way. It's just like, just doing the same thing, right? And I don't have a problem with, you know, getting a message out there, you know, like the working class saying it's like, you know, shit that really matters to them, you know. I'm working on a punk song at the moment that's all about pubs and how the pubs are all closing down. But, you know, I'm not just going to do it like this. I feel like I could get my whole fucking manifesto out just over this. It's just so lazy to me. Right? That's all they fucking do. Yeah. That to me is just all like yard act, wet leg, what are some other ones? That kind of thing. That to me, that's all they are. I don't necessarily like. I like punk where it's kind of, you know, like there's the imperfection and stuff like that, and I don't mind a little bit of what I just did there, right? But when that is all it is, right, with no, you know, musical sort of not necessarily that, with no, I don't know, color to the message. Like to me, Wet Leg pissed me off with their main song, Chase Lounge. Chase Lounge is this song that I can't stand this song. It's the same shit I was just fucking doing.
Mommy, Daddy, look at me. I went to school and I got a degree. All my friends call it the big D. I went to school and I got the big D. I got the big D. I got the big D.
I fucking hate the song for that. I got a big D. I got a big D. Right? I hate it. Viagra Boys have some decent songs. Like I like their more krautrocky stuff, but they're similar in that same way. And the thing is that it makes it sound like I've noticed a lot of people who criticize Wet Leg then get criticized because it's a female band that are doing something interesting. It's like I don't dislike them because they're women that are making music. I dislike them because they're fucking shit. Right? That's the key difference here. I would love for them to make really good music. To me, it's just been getting on my nerves lately because I hear it more and more and more, and it feels like this music gets taken like it's some kind of like high art, like it's really intricate. But at the end of the day, it's these fucking, you know, middle class, slightly upper class fucking toffs, right? That just get propelled into the fucking scene. Right, with these really high-end music videos right out the fucking gate, with the laziest fucking music, with the most generic, boring fucking vocals, with the most boring, generic fucking lyrics about the same old shit. Right, that's what I dislike. Right, Wet Leg. That was their first music video. Right, that was their first ever music video. Right, where's their rise? Where's their, you know, playing in a load of really tiny little pubs? You know. Where as they get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Who's the other one? The Last Dinner Party. Exact same fucking thing, right? They don't do the same kind of music, but they just immediately get propelled into the fucking scene, right? And they hide behind the same fucking thing of, oh, but we're women, you know, and you know, the people are criticizing us because they're sexist. And it's like, no, I'm supportive of women's rights and feminism and all this sort of stuff. But I'm also supportive of good music. I like good music. Right, and I don't like these industry fucking plants that just come in here with these high-end fucking music videos right out the gate with this imperfectly fucking polished bollocks, right? It just gets on my nerves. And I don't know how to get this point across in any better way. Like, sure, the maximalist, you know, Georgian era kind of fashion is their style, and that can be fun. You can get that kind of stuff at a charity shop or like some weird vintage market and get like one dress for like 20 quid, get 5 of them 100 quid. So that in itself isn't the poshness. It's the fact that they're all filmed with like giant Arri Alexas, right? And they've got crews on these music videos of fucking hundreds of people. Where's the crew list on this? Right, here's the crew of Last Dinner Party's video, Nothing Matters, right? director, creative director, producer, production manager, PA, production runner driver, first AD, second AD runner, DOP, first AD, second AD, trainee wrangler, steadicam operator, grip, gaffer, spark, movement director, production designer, art assistant ×3, stylist ×3, hair ×2, makeup ×2, sound recorder, sound engineer, photographer ×2, BTS videographer, security, medic, 2 editors, colorist, right? Look at the amount of shit that's on this one music video, right? The amount of... I don't like music videos that have this much excess to them. Filming all of this stuff. I've been on crews for them, and the artists generally are knobheads, right? I was on one, and the artist's girlfriend was on the set, and literally, she was talking about like getting this fucking weird dog, right? And then someone was like, that dog's fucking 1,500 quid. And she was like, yeah, well, you know, think about it like this. It's only a month's rent. What? This wasn't a massive artist either. The music video is out. It's only got like 200,000 views. It's tiny, you know, but she was so out of touch because she's been propelled into success because she's been with this bloke, right, who's been propelled into success for God knows what reason. He's basically a King Cruel knockoff. I don't know. And it all sounds like it's just me being jealous, but I don't want these high-end music videos. If someone offered me like a big music video for all of this stuff, I wouldn't take it. I'd pocket the cash and I'd make a garbage fucking music video, truth be told. Because to me, the small and the scrappy looks more interesting to me. That's why I like King Gizzard's old videos, because they look so shit, you know? And there's charm to it compared to some of their newer ones. But I don't mind that they have these ones now because they've earned the right to do that, because they've worked hard at it, and they started off at the bottom and they got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I don't mind them doing it, right? Because they earn it. So yeah, if someone offered me all that money, I'd pocket it and just make something garbage. And Gary, would you like the videos as much if they looked like they were a fucking Hollywood movie? You know, with perfection on every angle? Because I feel like that takes away from the authenticity, in my opinion. I want shit to look bad. I want shit to have imperfections. I think that's important. Otherwise, what's the point of doing stuff? There's nowhere to go from perfection, right? Because at some point I want to make something that looks amazing, right? And has that Hollywood professional kind of quality to it. And that wows people because it's come from this, right? I like the gritty stuff, way more charm. I think in this climate, though, you need to be impactful and or shock value to get trending on social media. Well, this is the only reason why I've got 55,000 views and everyone else in my subgenre doesn't, because I've got the 4-3 sort of 70s, 80s, 90s quality to it, whereas they film things and it makes it look like the 2020s. Right? And that's the only reason. These people probably have far more interesting shit to say than I do, right? But they don't get the attention that they deserve because they don't have the gimmick that I do. Oh, thank you, Lighthearted. It's still weird to me that you look up to me, but thank you. It means a lot. I hope that rant was coherent enough, because it went on for a long fucking time. It's just something that really irks me. A lot of this is about like the Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence. The Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence encapsulates a lot of that sort of attitude, because Johnny Moz does those rants quite a lot. I'm working on a punk song at the moment, right? And the idea is, like, I want it to start off with like a very like fast bit, like something like that, right? And then on the last note, it's like that, right? And then it's gonna have this sort of long sort of outro, which, you know, the final note sustained, so it'll be like this. So imagine that was all like heavy and overdriven, right? Like a punk song. I am very angry at something. New instruments. Right, and then that then builds up and up and up into like a clean section. Like, you know, like when metal bands do that clean bit. And then from there, it would keep that same riff, right? And then that keeps going on and on and on and on with, you know, like that kind of shit. Because you can do this. So you can do that kind of thing. And then I want that to build up into, you know, full crescendo, right? From nothing to like full slow metal song, bringing that original sort of thing back, but in a slow version. Like, you know, and then I want it to have either like a big wah-wah sort of section, like that, right? Or like some kind of, you know, like you know, some kind of big section to close it out. That's kind of the idea. And I want it to be, I'm planning on it being about pubs and how the pub game is kind of fucked. Well, the only reason I did this stream is I wanted to psych myself up because I was going to go out and film some Johnny Mozza videos. That's the idea. I want it to be coated in fucking fuzz. Let me actually. Oh no, the guitar's downstairs, isn't it? Fuck it. Well, I also wrote this, which originally was meant to be for the punk song, but it doesn't sound like punk in the fucking slightest, so it's not going to be for that. So I fucked it up. Something like that, right? But it doesn't sound like punk in the fucking slightest. It sounds more like a Porcupine Tree ballad. I don't know. I'm just pissing about with it now. still exporting. Fuck's sake. It's taking ages. I'm trying to think of more ideas for the album. I mean, I wrote this bit for The Maze, which is a totally different song. I'm going to need capo back, actually. So The Maze is this like 17-minute long sort of prog thing. And it had this B section in it that I decided needed some lyrics to it. So I sort of came up with like some lyrics, because the whole idea is it's about creative struggling creatively, you know, running out of ideas, burnout, that kind of shit. So why is a constant yearning for something that I cannot ever be? A stranglehold on me. Why is a deliberation quite so entropical and seductive, please? Take the story away from me before I have to cut down the hedge, run away instead of trying to solve the maze I made. Escape my gaze. Oh, why is there so much suffering? I cannot possibly fight about it all. I'm slowly descending, a dull artist pretentiousness encapsulated in a single stroke of a pen you're trying to choke. High Tide asks, who's your favorite guitarist? Well, David Gilmour's one. John Petrucci is another. Yeah, it probably is. Probably is out of tune. Who else? John Petrucci, David Gilmour. Any of the guitarists from King Gizzard, Stu McKenzie, Cut Craig, or Joe Walker. I can't pick one because they've all got different bits to them. But any of them. But the thing is, Petrucci's one of the only shredders that is able to have emotion to his solos. Like, you know, Joe Satriani and a lot of stuff like that feels like it's just pissing about for the sake of it. Whenever John Petrucci does like some mad shit, I feel like it's for a reason. I feel like it's saying something. So that's why I pick him. I just feel like he's David Gilmour on crack, you know? Let me think of some other good guitarists. I'm trying to find some music that I like. I don't know what his name is, but the guitarist from Hypnos 69 is good. Oh, and Nick Drake. I'd say Nick Drake. Physics House. I'll give it a listen. Physics House Band. Oh. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Rush, Alex, yeah, he's good. stop it because I realised like you probably can't hear it properly. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Really, it's hot in here. I can't really think of much else to say, so I'm going to leave it there for now. Oh, no questions. Just popping in to say hi. Oh, hello. And Daniel asks, yeah, it's going pretty decent. I was gonna go out and film some videos, but I feel like I just can't be asked. I don't know. Maybe I won't. Yeah. I'm gonna try and do nothing for a couple hours. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. So have a good one, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and yeah, take care, and bye bye.